Yes, 110%. I wish I would have done a lot more of this when I was younger. I give you a story, and I've told this before, but when I played professional basketball in Germany, there was a guy. He was like 37, 38 years old. He was pretty old, still playing professionally. And I'm like, how is this guy still playing? At the time I was, 27 years old or whatever, and I was starting to kind of feel worn down in my body. And like 37, 38, man, you got to be in good shape. You got to be skilled, athletic, whatever it is. And I was watching him warm up before the game. And now, typically, a guy like me, I'd be doing a ton of different dunks, getting the crowd going. And I looked over at this guy, and he was just simply working on his form shooting. He was up close to the hoop, one hand, and he was knocking down, 4 or 5 of those in a row, moving to the next spot and then taking a step back and then continuing that pattern. Well, I can tell you this, Tony, when we got to the game, he shot lights out. And I then understood, well, this guy is skilled. He knows what it takes to be a professional player at that level. And so that was a real changing point in how I warmed up and even how I started practicing as a fully grown adult that was already a professional. I figured, hey, I got to start doing these things. And so for me now with my young players, I always say, if you want to be a great shooter, you need to work on your form. However that may look, it may be a little bit different than somebody else, but we can start to build the early mechanics at a very young age, close up, working our way out, that are going to benefit you in the long run. And if we start working on our one-hand shot form, it really helps out because it eliminates what the problem of our guide hand, which is one of the largest, or I should say the biggest problems shooters have is their offhand. And what I tell all my shooters is this is just your guide hand. And I also explain it this way. It's just a stabilizer. When you're dribbling a basketball, if you didn't have your opposite hand to pick up the basketball, well, you probably wouldn't be able to get to your shooting pocket efficiently, right? So that offhand is just there to be able to pick up that basketball, gather it, and then guide it to where it needs to go. If you do anything else, you're going to affect the shot one way or another. Form shooting allows you to get the confidence and the ability to understand that I can do everything with just this one hand. And now I incorporate this stabilizer. It makes it a little bit easier, especially as I get older and I build more strength. So for me, the answer is yes, but you need to start close to the hoop. Work your way out. Once you get to a point where the one-handed shot is too hard, the consistency is off because the strength is not there for a young player, then you may move that guide hand there, or you may tell them, okay, let's move back in close and keep working until we build the strength. Because, again, we don't want to build bad habits.